Welcome back. Next video we're going to look at the square root of a number more closely and specifically, starting with the number 9. So the goal here is to think about a number that when multiplied by itself will give you 9. And the only case here where it works is the number 3, because 3 times 3 will give you 9. Now I want to draw back upon the model of a square. And this is going to be very useful to think about the square root with regards to the square, because the whole name comes from the square itself. So we know that the square root of 9 equals 3 because 3 times 3 gives us 9. But I want you to think about a square with area 9. So the following square has got 9 blocks. Let's call these 9 centimeters squared. And I want you to think about what the side must be in order for this square to make sense. So the area is 9 centimeters squared, 9 blocks. The only way for this particular square to make sense is if the sides are 3, because length times width, 3 times 3, will give us 9. So the square root is a direct application of the area and side length of a square. Now, square root 1 is 1, because 1 times 1 equals 1. Square root 4 equals 2. Square root 9 equals 3. Square root 16. Square root 25. Square root 36. Now you'll notice that every one of these square roots of these numbers that I've picked in black are whole numbers. Square root 81 is 9. Why? Because 9 times 9 equals 81. Square root 100 is 10. Square root 121, 11. Square root 144 is 12. All these numbers in red and the one in green, these are whole numbers. So the square root of these black numbers gives us whole numbers. Since that's the case, we call them perfect squares, and I've got them circled in green here. The first 12 listed. And taking the square root of a fraction would mean taking the square root of the top separately from the square root of the bottom, in which case we would have here the square root of 4 divided by square root of 16, which is 2 over 4. And you'll notice that 2 over 4, they've got a common factor of 2, so we can divide the top and the bottom by that, and therefore our reduced fraction is 1/2. So never forget, the square root of a fraction is simply going to be the square root of the top separate from the square root of the bottom. Calculate them independently of each other, and then try to simplify your fraction. That's all for now. See you next video.